Hey everybody, Mike here, and yesterday I sent out an email with a link to this webpage right here letting essentially my audience know that I am in the market for at least one or two really good copywriters for everything that we are currently in progress on for Self-Made Man, some very big projects that we have coming out by the end of the year, and for the podcast and the new content that we release every single week. So I need to hire 2 or 3 copywriters. I thought I'd start with my audience. I posted this page yesterday, and in the last 24 hours, I've gotten around 54 responses. And it's been a really, really unique learning experience for me in the last few hours going through them, all of the applications and emails and everything like that. And I thought I would pass along the observations I've made, the lessons learned that I have made, and the big mistake that I made in this process as well, because I think it'll be really useful for you guys on both sides of the fence as business owners and potential team members as well. So the first mistake that I made is that I was not very clear about what I was asking my applicants to do as far as what I wanted them to produce. And the goal here was to essentially have them watch this 1-hour lesson with Russell Brunson and to write a 1-page summary about the lesson that we would use essentially as if it was a new podcast or a new content piece. Now, the problem that I made is that I called it a summary, and what I really wanted was not a summary, it was a sales piece. So essentially, whenever we release a podcast or you release a new video or a piece of content, we have to sell our audience on actually consuming that. They're just not going to consume it by default. Maybe the headline is compelling enough that that's all that's necessary. But specifically for a podcast, when we put that on the blog and when I send an email out to my list and my audience telling everybody about the new episode, I have to write something that will get their attention, communicate that this is going to solve a problem of theirs or provide them with a benefit and provide them with a really compelling call to action to get them to consume it, to stop what they're doing at that moment in time, whether that's work or Facebook or whatever it may be, and say, look at this, go listen to this, go watch this, it's important. And so that's essentially what I was looking for. And so the big mistake I made here is that I used the word summary, which is not what I want. What I wanted was a sales piece. So with that experience now gained, I'm going to be updating this content and this text right here. And if you would like to apply for the position, I'll have the new updated text here in a link below this video. Please follow the instructions specifically on how to do that, and I'll definitely include you in the consideration set. If you already submitted a summary, my apologies on that. I would like it, if you're really serious about the position, to give it one more take and produce a 1-page sales letter on why someone should watch the video, what they're going to get out of it, who it's for, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll put more detailed instructions here for you as well. Now, with that being said, the second biggest shocking lesson that I learned from this is that out of the 54 applications that I've gotten so far, at least half of them did not follow the instructions, and I really had one. Write your best 1-page summary and submit it here. And that was it. And at least half of them did not have a summary of any kind. They didn't watch the lesson. They sent me a resume. They said how much they would love to have the position, and yet they weren't willing to even follow the one instruction that I gave, which means those folks are out of the running right from the get-go, even though many of them were super passionate about an opportunity to grab that position. So I thought that was astounding. If you're in a position and you want a job in the future, pay attention to the instructions, because that's one thing I'm looking for. Can you follow the instructions, or do I have to hold your hand and repeat things, over and over again, in which case we're not going to work together, because that's not, a benefit to anyone. Now, the third thing that occurred to me as well is that in a lot of those resumes, these folks who claim to be copywriters just talked about themselves the entire time. It was, I've done this, I can do this, I want to do that. I. And if you're a real copywriter, you know that you want to use the word I as little as humanly possible. This is about the reader. It's about the audience. It's about you, as in you, the reader. And in this case, for me, it's about me. It would be on selling me why you're the right person from the position. And it's not by talking about yourself. It's by communicating how you can give me what I'm looking for. right? And the benefit that I'm after, which is to ultimately help my audience. So that was really interesting. I would go through resume. I would see in the first 5 to 10 lines of text, 20 I's, and I would delete it. Because that person has no idea how to write copy. So that's always important when it comes to your audience, when it comes to selling. You always want to frame things in the context of you. Use that word at least 80 to 90% of the time, and you're going to be on the right track. So that's it. I hope there's some valuable lessons learned in there for you on both sides of the fence. I know I learned a lot from this experience, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.